Africa's fishing industry is worth close to $300 million annually and directly employs about 27,000 people in the commercial sector. Now, the country's sector was largely let off the hook during the country's COVID-19 lockdown, and that's because government had classified commercial fishing as essential. But restrictions on exports and the months-long closure of the country's hospitality industry took a toll on both large and small-scale fishing. CARME has more.
South Africa has a coastline of almost 3,000 kilometers with a rich fishing tradition. I travelled along the Western Cape's Atlantic seaboard to meet with seasoned fisherfolk in this region.
Fishing was my everything. That was my livelihood. That brought my child to school, and it gave me a living.
I'm born and bred a fisherman, and I'll die a fisherman.
South African fishers have been allowed to fish throughout the COVID-19 lockdown. But in the past few months, decent catches along the southwestern coast of South Africa have been few and far between.
Small-scale commercial fishers like Malcolm de Vries, who's been at sea for over half a century, say fishing here is not what it used to be.
There is no more fish. There is no more fish because it's getting wiped out. Same as our pearlmoon and our crayfish, and it's all getting wiped out.
Fishers here believe the snook and other fish species are being depleted by major factors such as overfishing by big trawlers and changes in the weather patterns because of climate change.
We used to catch snook for pretty much 10 months of the year throughout Cape Town and surrounding areas. Now we basically catch it between March, April, May, up the west coast, and pretty much no snook down the east, down where we are now. So now we're having to catch yellowtail, hottentots, anything else that's just to be able to keep our industry alive.
The small-scale fishers say they are grateful that the South African government allowed them to work throughout the COVID-19 lockdown, but say the negative impact of the lockdown has been severe.
COVID has hit us pretty hard. I looked at my catch returns. I used to catch 13 to 15 days a month. I'm now down to 7 to 8 days a month. I'm hoping that the tourism and the restaurant industries do open up because that is a big part of our markets.
Now there's a digital marketplace which aims to give small-scale fishers in South Africa, Seychelles and other parts of the world greater access to markets. It's a digital app called Abalobi. It wants to put the power and pride back into the hands of the fishers.
Abalobi means fisher in Xhosa, a local language here in South Africa, and our organization is a tech startup geared towards empowering small-scale fishers. So really where the technology comes in is twofold. On the one hand, to empower fishers to collect that information and that data, and then the other part of it is to access market. So where a small-scale fisher is able to get a much better price for his catch.
These small-scale fisher folks say they are hoping for a good fishing season during the coming summer months and praying that they will be able to ride out whatever a possible second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic brings to these shores. CGTN, Cape Town, South Africa.